Man, welcome back with your boy. Another segment here on one of the quickest sports podcasts moving across the country. It's again the one and only your boy, Coach Tony. And of course, this is the Pull Up Podcast Show. Take care of a couple of housekeeping notes. Make sure throughout the show tonight you put your questions in the tagline so that my co-host, Val the Voice, the ones that know her, you know she's good and she's quick. She's going to get those questions up. We want to make sure we answer our guests as many questions as we can to keep this thing moving. Please make sure you share the show information. And more importantly, you got to like us, baby, because that's what we're doing. We're going to shout everybody out in a moment, but we're starting a brand new segment. And I'm absolutely amazed. I'm stunned. I'm proud, especially with the guests that I got tonight. Make sure you turn your computers, your radios, your phones, all that up, because this is going to be an in-depth conversation. One of the conversations that need to have been happening a long time ago. The new series is called Diamonds in the Rough, where we interview young college athletes who no one really knows about, but it's taken a journey to get to where they are. And they are just as important as everyone that is there that's gotten there with a little easier stroke. But before we bring our guests out tonight and I talk about this young, amazing man, Val, you know what to do. Drop it.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony. Everybody, Chicago, check in tonight. If y'all don't know, you know I'm from the South Side. We keep it wild hunters and we keep it real. But man, Hyde Park, check it in. The West Side, check it in. South Side, check it in. And of course, my brothers in the house, the Noops, Mario Malone, my boy here in Nashville. Can't wait to get on them greens to get him beat down for a minute. Hey man, the Boyd family checking in. Mom and dad is checking in. This is great. This is going to be an excellent show tonight. Keep them numbers rolling tonight. We're going to do it. But this kid hails from the great city of Nashville, Tennessee. Story is absolutely amazing. It goes by something that a lot of us, try to get to the next level, whether it be basketball, football, whatever that may be. This kid has got a great story that he's going to talk about tonight. He's an athlete, but he's a little different. He didn't get an opportunity to make the middle school, the high school, but did it late. But he used AAU, travel basketball, to get to where he's at today. I don't want to kill his journey, but we're going to bring out one of my favorite kids, my AAU kids, one of my guys, my sidekick, and he spent a lot of time with me on the road the last few years, Amir Rahman. Come on out, baby.
Yo, what's up, y'all?
What's happening?
Nothing much. I'm good. How's everybody?
Man, first of all, thank you for taking time out of the student life. I ain't been in that student life. I'm not even going to date myself because I don't want anybody clowning me. I ain't been in that student life for a minute, man, but I appreciate that. Me and you have been trying to connect to get you on the show for several months, but you've been in basketball season. Man, everybody is checking in with you, saying hello, man. Christine said, what's going on? She said, how you doing? Amir, what's happening? She said, a fish fry family. Hey, make sure I get some of that fish, whether it's catfish, whatever it is, and make mine plain. I don't want all that mustard and pickles on my stuff. I got to have it straight up. But, man, I'm glad to have you on the show tonight, man. And this is going to be an in-depth conversation that I need for you to be as real as possible, because there's people watching and listening who are going through your journey and they want to know a lot of things. Let's take this back for the audience real quick. Let's go back to Nashville. Let's go back to you growing up here in Nashville, Tennessee, and let's go back to where'd you start middle school off at?
So I went to Sunset Middle School. It's a little bit south of Nashville, but that's where I started middle school, and I actually wasn't even really zoned for Sunset, but that's where I ended up at. And my journey with basketball started really before that, like in rec league and stuff with my dad being my coach. And then as I moved into middle school, I knew I wanted to play basketball, but I didn't know I really loved the sport yet because I don't know. I was still young. So, I didn't really develop the love for it. And then 6th grade year comes around, I don't make the team. 7th grade comes around, don't make the team. 8th grade comes around, don't make the team. And so
at that time, most kids would just be like, you know something, I'm gonna go kick a football.
Yeah, nah, definitely. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I didn't know what was going on. And then I don't know. I knew I still wanted to do it because like basketball was my sport. So after that, I just kind of started working hard, and I knew I would have to work hard in order to go into high school. But yeah, that's
right. Then you and I connected as I'm wearing this fabulous shirt, the Fab 48. I wore this for a reason because I remember when you first came to the campus, we got you, Coach Justin, and I'm sure Coach Justin will be checking in here in a little bit. Marvell Booth checking in, said, let's go, Amir, what's happening? And as you were coming through, I was like, man, I was checking in, to the high school that you were at, and there was a couple of kids that was pretty decent that was in front of you, but I'm saying there's no way in the world this kid is not playing. And I remember sitting down with you and having that main conversation, like, what did you want to do? And I remember you saying, Coach, I just want to play ball. I remember you coming to practices, man, when like we weren't even mandatory practice because they were in school, high school practices, and you're like, hey, I don't have the team. So we just said, keep coming in and working out with us. So let me ask you, what did the game of basketball mean to you early on, way before that we started talking about AAU, way before you jumped on with the Tennessee Edge? And you mentioned a moment ago you were in middle school and you wanted to play, and you were playing for your dad in the rec league. What was it about coming through that rec league that you said, hey, man, this is what I want to do? Because did you think about playing any other sport?
No, baseball. I did play baseball in middle school, but it was always kind of I was in center field, Okay. Center field was my thing. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I had baseball and basketball, and then I don't know, baseball just didn't, it was always on the back burner for like basketball is always just like, I don't know. It just always stuck out to me. So that's what I wanted to do in middle school. And then I really didn't, I don't know how to describe it, but like, I just wish that when I was younger, I could have loved the game more, I would say. I don't know how to describe it, but.
Now you love the game. I don't even think the love of the game was the situation, because when you're a kid, you loving the game. Actually, you love the game probably as a kid more than you love it as an adult. Because when you get older, as you found out with me, it became work. But as a kid, you were just freelancing and you were playing in baseball. What took you away from the game of baseball into basketball?
It was really my transition from middle school to high school.
Okay.
I played both throughout middle school. Usually it was basketball during the school, and then baseball during summertime. And when I went into high school, I remember going into baseball season. I tried out, but I still didn't really it. Just wasn't the same. Like, I don't know, anybody who loves a sport and only plays, like, I know there's multi-sport athletes out there, but anybody who just loves that one sport, they just know, like, it's just something about that one sport, whatever your one sport is.
Right, just hook it. Misty said, because Amir got that grit, the way to go. She said, you got that grit, you go on. Ashley Griff checking in. What's up, Ashley? Said, we love you, baby. What's happening? We got Freddie checking in, Baylor checking in, said, congrats, keep it on, keep it going. Let's get to the heart of things. Let's take it. We're going to fast forward in that freshman year, because now you played for dad, you get out the rec league, you're coming out of middle, you're jumping into high school, and you decided to go to this high school. Now, for those that don't know, Amir went to a predominantly PWI white school, predominantly white high school, not that many minorities that was there. So it wasn't like that you had to figure out who you were, because, basically a lot of minorities kind of stuck out. So when you didn't make that cut, that freshman year, you're sitting there like, man, I know I'm better than some of these guys. Talk to us about the mentality, your mindset, because you knew you could play because you had already played for dad's rec team, and you knew that you had the love of the game. So now you experienced that second cut. The first cut in middle school, a little different, but that high school cut, and it's only JV. You mean I'm not even good enough to play JV? Man, what was your mental mindset at that time?
I don't even know where to start. It's just, when I went into freshman year, I was so confident, like, not confident in a bad way, arrogant, just like confident, like I knew I was ready. And then when I ended up not making it, it was just like the thought of like quitting basketball never really crossed my mind. I don't know, because it's like,
okay,
for all the people out there, like when you genuinely love a sport, it's just like the idea of quitting or stopping, like it doesn't cross your mind, because like you genuinely have to be crazy. Like you have to like be delusional. Like people are gonna tell you like, nah, gang, you didn't make the freshman. It's over. It's grits. But
Right.
like, nah, you gotta like, that's what separates the good athletes from the ones who stop. Like,
There you go. Jordan got cut.
Yeah, you genuinely just have to like, you have to be delusional enough to think like it's never gonna stop. So when I got cut my freshman year, I don't know, I always stayed with the basketball, and the freshman coach just happened to see me playing in gym, and he asked me to come try out again, and I did, and
That's
I
nice.
made it after that. So
Yeah,
that's why I really like, it's literally about like when you go to the weight room and there's like, you have to lift. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to. No. You genuinely have to be delusional. Like anything and everything you do in your sport, you have to be delusional. That's the only way.
Right. And Tamika said, man, we love you, man. She said, that's that grit. And DTO, man, said, man, this young man's already looking professional. He's doing a different light on it, man. God's going to bless him. He definitely got something going on, man. God got him with them steps. You know, the crazy part about that is now you get to high school. You don't make the cut. You got the friends walking around. I've been there, Amir. You know what I mean? You're in the high school. You're in the halls, man. You got the honeys looking at you like, man, you know, you're a nice looking cat too. You know, like, man, you know, what's up? And I know when they see you, they like, man, I know what day y'all got? What day is the game tonight? Y'all play this Friday? And then you're like, nah, I'm not even rocking this year. You know, and then I'm doing something else. How did you keep yourself busy? Because as a freshman, it's one thing to get cut, right? And then you talked about the mindset, and it's kind of got to be crazy not to be in that loop of things. But how did you keep busy, like mentally busy, that you didn't allow, just because you got cut that freshman year, you didn't allow that to take you down?
Again, back to the delusion. It's just like, I don't even know. Like, obviously I had school to keep me busy, a little bit of social life, but it's like basketball. It always kept me busy. And it's always just that it's just so easy to stay busy with something when you know that, like, you just feel it. Like it's so easy to stay focused when something is in your heart. It's just like, that's why people do what they love. That's why there's people out there doing stuff for nonprofit, and they don't like, it's the same thing. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Hey, man, you know, and by the way, you know why I love you so much, man, because you got double blood of me in your body. First of all, Pops, Alabama, baby. Shout out all my folks, Alabama, and Mama, south side of Chi-Town. So we roll like that. So when they came to me, I was like, man, for sure, you know, Beard want to jump on the squad, and then Coach Justin love you too. You know, that's my right hand. He coaches and does all my stuff. So it was just absolutely wonderful to get you there. So how did it feel, and how did it make you feel that you didn't get an opportunity to play that freshman year, but then you walk over to our camp and we say, hey, man, we could use you, and then you get an opportunity to walk on not your dad's team? Because how was it playing for Dad in middle school, by the way?
It was great. He was yelling and always making me run around the court. So I was running a lot.
He was running a lot. I can see that. That's going to be Taj too. Exactly. So, you know, but so, you know, now you turn the page in high school. Now you playing for the Tennessee Edge program. You come in the very first year, you know, that freshman year, and get ready to play. And then you seeing these kids that are on teams. You're not. What's running through your head at the moment?
I don't know. I wish I would have started knowing about more basketball earlier, because when I got into high school, like, that's when AAU started getting serious too. And I didn't really know like what to look for, or who to ask about AAU. And it's like my teams, I kept like, during the end of my freshman season, there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of like talk about my teammates getting teams. And it was just confusing, because I didn't know at the time when I was a freshman how important AAU was as well as school basketball.
Yeah. Coach Fee said, man, you're very grounded. You know, keep going on. Got good parents. That's what always works out. It's crazy. And you and I have seen it. You've seen it because you've been on my team. We've seen it when the parents try to live their used to be life through the kids, and they don't work out so well. And then all of a sudden, you know, things don't kind of go left. Man, we are having an in-depth conversation with my mans and them, the one and only Amir Rahman, FAMU HBCU in the house. We're going to take a quick break. Val's got to pay some bills. We'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony. Val, let's pay these bills. We'll be right back to the second quarter. The Rise, NIL. What are we? We're a sports marketing company brought to you in 2023, helping all of our athletes unleash their potential. We're in the sports world because what? The NIL, name, image, and likeness, is where the athletes play. So in order to do that, we want to make sure we help them maximize their earning potential, along with the brands that operate with them. So if you need to know some more information and how you can be a part of The Rise, reach out to us at information@therise.com or type in www.therisenil.com. Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony. By the way, Amir, how you like that beat off the top, man? My nephew dropped that beat for me, man, on the Pull Up Podcast Show.
No, it was good. It was good.
Always run out Jimmy trying to rap stuff, so I'll let you know I had a little flavor for you, man. So let's get into the real organization. I really pride myself. I mean, when I first came from Chicago here, involved. A lot of people don't remember the Arthur Agee story. Chicago West Side kid. We had an opportunity to be involved with him early on, AAU, and I grew up in the Wild Hunters, as they say back in the day. And, went to Morgan Park High School, and just being an opportunity to kick off AAU in Chicago was a little different because the city is so big, third largest city in the country. We didn't have to go outside the city, playing south side to the west side. So when I got to Nashville, I was like, I need to kind of replicate that. But the market was small. So to get you guys to come on board, I was loving it because you're coming from the suburbs. A couple other kids came from the suburbs. Then you guys, a few inner city kids. Talk to us a little bit about, having an early AAU experience. Let's don't talk about the second year. We'll get that in a minute. But talk about that first year that you came on, because you said something a moment ago that was very important, and that was you really didn't understand the game of basketball as well as you thought or well as you wanted to. Because I remember you being in practice sometime, we would go over plays and certain things. You're like, man, coach, I forgot to cut or I forgot to screen, because that was part of the game. So talk to us about the early stages of you learning the game in the AAU sense.
AAU definitely changed my perspective on basketball because I'd only been acclimated to school basketball before. So when I came into AAU, it was definitely a nice experience, change of scenery, and I was able to play with kids other than around my area. So that was a good way to get exposed. And then also AAU it opened up a new part of my game that I don't think school would have been able to, because there's certain structures that we had to do in school that weren't in the AAU scene. And I think that's another reason why AAU basketball is important, especially when learning. There's certain skills that you need to know that apply to AAU that don't apply to high school. And the same difference with applying to high school that don't apply to AAU. One of those, like you just said, was learning the plays. It's a little different when it comes to high school, and the way the plays that we ran in AAU, they were different. I feel like they were more focused on the certain personnel. Like at high school, like you ran the play and it was just a play. But in AAU, it was like you ran the play, but this play was specifically meant for one or two people on the team that had a certain skill. And I think that transferred well over into college basketball as well.
Oh, man, that's great. And then Greg Pollard, my boy, G Pollard. What's up, baby? G checking in, say, man, keep it going, Amir, man. Just trust, man, trust the process. And funny Greg said that, because remember our first year? What was our motto the first year? Trust the process. Remember, we got the shirts, put them on our back. Trust the process, man. That's always been. And then Ibir said, man, getting it done, Amir, man, just keep on climbing. You're going to do some good things, young man. Talk a little bit about my demands, because I'm a little different coach to play for. I'm not your high school guy. So, and it was the great thing for me was I had an opportunity at the time. I'm coaching college basketball, for those that don't know. I was at Fisk University. By the way, I had done a year at TSU, done a year at Lipscomb, and then I'm on to Fisk at the time. And then I was at Vol State, volunteer community. And demand for me was a little different because I was trying to teach you guys the game at the next level because you always mentioned, Coach, I want to play college ball. So what was it like playing for me as a coach and the demands I put on you guys as players and a team?
It was great. It was definitely oddly similar to the same demand that the college coaches were expecting of us, not in the sense of like them, like, I don't know, because Coach Ward wouldn't really yell. He's more of a soft-spoken coach, but like in the sense of like what they're expecting of you and what they want to see you do, it was really similar because like it was just the way they like, I don't know, like they weren't going for like none of the stuff in high school. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like they weren't going for the little things and like, I don't know. They needed
little things get you beat.
Yeah.
Little things get you beat, and that's the problem, So how important was it, just being around that group of guys? Because the group of guys you were around, we were good. I mean, we won, and the crazy part about it, I was laughing because, you won like players of the weekend. You know that, man. You like made the all-star team and stuff like that. And I'm saying to myself, there's no way in the world that this kid is not playing high school ball. And then fast forward, I remember that call. I remember the night. I remember mom and dad being very, very pissed off. And mom called me and she sat down and we talked, me, mom, and dad. And they asked me specifically, Coach, here's what my son has been given. You can get on the team. You're not going to play. You can practice, but you'll play based on X, Y, Z. You're not going to step on the court unless we're in a blowout or we're getting blown out. And basically, I'm expecting you to come to practice every day. Now, most people would have been like, man, the hell with you. I'm out. Peace. Deuces. I'm transferring. But I know what Coach Justin and I had put in you throughout those years. And I remember telling mom and dad, no, we're not going to do that. I've been down this. And like G. Pollard just said, we're going to trust this process. And the process is we're going to go to practice every day. We're going to stick to what, Amir? We're going to stick the best player on the other yard. We're going to beat him up. But we're going to use that gym to put up shots, lift weights. We're going to do everything we got to do. When you look back at that, and if you had to go through it all over again and you were giving them same demands, would you have backed out and said, forget it, I'm done, I'm quitting? Or would you have taken the same path you took today?
I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have worked even harder. Like I worked hard, but like, I don't know. There's always stuff you can go back and change, but like I was definitely working hard, but like I just would have went even harder. And it's like you gotta just develop the self-conscious, you just gotta develop the self-consciousness of wanting to do it every day. Like you can't be lazy in practice and not be paying attention like everybody else, because you're not everybody else. You were given this role, you were given what you were supposed to do, so you just got to be better than everybody at it. And that's just the way it is.
That's what's, and Dean the youngster said, man, congrats, man, from an old FAMU student athlete, man, in Clarksville, Tennessee, man, just shouting you out real quick, man. And then he said, congrats to me. I mean, you got a lot of people checking in tonight. That's how we do. We take the Chi-Town to Nashville. When we connect, that's what we do in Chicago, man. We make sure we plug our people. Nashville, we plug our people, man. We put them on. But, talk to us a little bit about, Amir, about, trying to balance school, trying to balance AAU, and then trying to balance getting on a team or making it on a team, that didn't want you. How did it feel as an individual your senior year? Because let's cut through the cake here for people that don't know. The kid said didn't make it middle school, didn't make it freshman, didn't make it sophomore, didn't make it junior. Most people would have walked out and said, I'm done. But he stayed to the grind, stayed to the process. Now, senior year, you make that team. And what's your mindset?
Really, though, I don't know, with balancing AAU, my last AAU season, then going into high school, and then the way I balanced all that, I don't know, because honestly, throughout senior year, it was kind of like humiliating, not in the sense of like he's on the team, but in the sense of like people would genuinely like not come up to me, but come up to people I knew and ask like, what is he doing on the team? Wow. And it's just like, I was a senior, so like they were wondering like, why aren't you playing? And then every time someone would ask me that, like, I don't know, it was humiliating because like people were genuinely like, they thought I was not good because I wasn't playing as a senior. And it's just, I don't know. It's just, I could never silence the talk, but I don't know. I tried to not let it get to me, but I don't know. And people are still calling today. Like one of my close friends who was on the basketball team with me, someone that he knew from high school, I don't know if he called him or texted or something, but he called him and literally he asked my close friend that was on the team with me, he was like, how did Amir make the team? I was better than him in high school. Like, what are you talking about? And the kid who had said that was never played basketball before. So it's just crazy. Like the same people who didn't believe in me now still don't believe in me. So I don't know. It's just, wow. It wasn't really hard to block out the mental lapses. Cause I mean, I just never let it get in my way. I don't know. They didn't see the work I was putting in the gym. So you can't really let people say stuff and they don't know everything about you. So
yeah, I love that. Don't let it get in your way, man. It's called hurdles, right? Life is made of a lot of hurdles, and at some point in your life, you're gonna have low hurdles, you're gonna have high hurdles, medium hurdles. But in life, you're gonna have to have hurdles. You have to be able to jump over those and clear those hurdles. Man, I love that because what that shows to me, and tell me if I'm right or am I wrong, that's almost a small stint of bullying in a way. And in other words, it's like, what are you doing here? Like, like you weren't good enough to be in the gym. Well, why are you sitting here? Why are you sitting? Exactly. In the meanwhile, dude, your ass ain't even playing. What you talking about, man? You sitting over here with me, not even getting in the game, and then all of a sudden you sit up and say, wow. And I know at some point throughout, I remember watching you. I remember coming to a game and you got in late. I think you had like a couple points. And I was like, man, it's amazing. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out who a good basketball player. You get put in a game at the end of the game, what we call burn off or throwaway minutes, and you walk out with 4 or 5 points, 6 points, a couple rebounds, a steal, and then you still got your teammates saying, oh, Amir, you only got that because you weren't playing against nobody. How did that make you feel when those kids were saying stuff like that?
I don't even know how to describe it because obviously my teammates I don't know, they never really said it to my face, but I could just tell there was only a couple people on my team who genuinely believed in me, and the others I wouldn't say they didn't believe in me, but there's definitely some people who thought they thought little of me or lower than of, I don't know how to describe it. Wow. And then yeah, I could tell who the people were who just didn't I don't know, they just didn't. I don't know if they didn't like me or whatever, but I don't know. I could just tell they thought they were so much better than me, that I was beneath them or something. And then there were some people who I was just cool with who just didn't they didn't think one or the other. They were kind of just in the middle. And then there were some people who believed in me, and there's probably 2 or 3 of them, maybe 4. But one of them is the person I was just talking about before about the phone and stuff. So yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, they never really said anything to me, but I wasn't really the type to be trash talking people in practice. I don't I mean, I don't know. I'll speak a little bit of trash, but I'd rather just cook you.
I trash talk y'all every day. Every time I'm up in you, man. So, and I applaud you, kid, because I'm telling you right now tonight, there's nowhere in the world I would have went into Morgan Park High School in Chicago and been given those details of what I would and what I wouldn't have been able to do, and I stayed. I'd have went down the street to Simeon. I'd have went to Julian. The good thing about the city, we could go anywhere in Cook County we wanted to, as long as you was okay with jumping on the L of the bus. So that was the difference. And you didn't have that. You had to kind of stick it out to where you were, man. And that makes me so proud of you, man. And just, every time I see you, man, just high five and give you hugs, man, because we don't run away from stuff. Right? We kick the door in. So I always tell people, man, don't run. Just kick the door and let them know that you're here. And I think that you did that in a sense. And the crazy part about it is you and I laughed and joked when we were talking about this before you left. And I'm like, I've seen some of the kids that kind of came out on that team or right before you that went on to college. I'm like, they're not even playing right now. They're not even there. I'm like, what happened, dude? You were like the star. You were like everything else. Do you keep in touch with some of those kids that have moved on to play college ball that's no longer playing now?
I do. Whenever I come back in town, I happen to see them. I say hello, but I really only keep in contact with 3 of the people from the team that I was on.
It's because they don't deserve your time.
Yeah, but like the people who were like on the varsity team, I don't really. I mean, I'll say hi to them, but I only really like I'm still in contact with like 3 of them, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, man, we get some in-depth conversation, man. My man Amir Rahman, Nashville, Tennessee, FAMU, HBCU. Put some fire out for us right now. We're gonna take this halftime break because Amir know how I used to do it. We're going into halftime. I'm gonna have to break him off a little bit. But Val, pay these bills. We'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your main man, the one and only Coach Tony. We'll be right back.
Aired NBA on NBC shows, I'm going to tune in to hear that, because if I, in my mind, if I got a pair of Jordans, or
you do get a pair of Jordans.
Exactly. I want to hear the person I've idolized in my childhood or I've heard about, and hear what he thinks about the sport. So this is very exciting to know that he is coming to it. But one thing I was thinking, I said, man, I am excited, because I haven't really been excited for who's got me excited about basketball recently has been the wins. And I don't know.
Your boy, Coach Tony got you excited about basketball. Everything else is secondary.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. I guess we need to wrap up the quarter.
We're gonna wrap this quarter up. Me and Val out here wilding out.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Yo, my name is Amir. I'm with the FAMU men's basketball team, and today we're gonna be handing out candy to the people on the quad so they can come out to the game next week. Let's get it.
Yo, Asa, why you walking away? Yo, it's happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Go ahead and get this. Y'all gonna promise to come out to the game next weekend, all right? I get Valentine's Day, bro. You can get 2, actually. 2? Thank you. Y'all gonna pop out to the game next Thursday?
Next Thursday? Wait, what is it?
Yeah, I lost it. It's a Greek night. I want candy, though?
I'll try.
Candy's promise. Candy's promise.
Okay, got it.
What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Candy?
Oh.
You got a
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show. I don't get that. Mama Rivera, watch out. I like how you just getting the candy to the honeys, man. That was dope.
Yo.
I was live. Hey, and by the way, it looked like one of them Smooth News, man, that was right there on the yard that was doing his thing, man. So I already told mom and dad, man, if you come back home with any other colors like me and Mario talking about anything crimson and cream, you're going to take a beat down. Straight on. That's what we got, man. So when you decide to go Divide 9, if that's in the cards for you, holler at your boy, because you know I got you, man. I got you. So let's talk a little bit about the transition, because me and Pops, we talked every weekend. You know, we was out there outside every weekend. We was outside while you guys were getting ready to play, win, lose, or draw. We was out there talking about the future. And what I liked about your dad, man, it wasn't so much he worried about you. He talked about all the kids. I mean, it wasn't that he had one kid and it was you and this kid or that kid. He was like, hey, man, what about this kid? What about that particular kid? Can they play? Can they do this? Why they? So I loved him because he always kept that coach's mind, even though he was sitting in the parents' seat at that time. You know, now choosing the HBCU route versus a PWI, what was the mindset in that? Was it kind of what you were kind of exposed to in high school that made you say, nah, I don't really want no more of this. I want to definitely go HBCU. What was the mindset and why FAMU? And for those that don't know, FAMU is Florida A&M University, Tallahassee, Florida.
I definitely wanted to go to HBCU because like it's just like I just needed to be around my people. Like for those who know, you know, like it's just I don't know. I had to like I didn't want to go to any other PWI. It's just and FAMU was really the only HBCU that stuck out to me. Like I went to NCAT and I visited a couple others, but I don't know. It's just FAMU always stuck out to me, and I don't know. There was really no other option in my head. Like I genuinely don't know what I would have done if I didn't get it. And so, yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. In high school, it was, I don't know. They're just not celebrated as much. And thankfully I had people who graduated before me who also went to HBCU to help me see that. So
Yep. Because you was getting pushed that Tennessee State way like Pops, you know what I'm saying? So what made you say, hey, you know something? And I love the state, but I want to go down to Florida.
It was really just I don't even know. I knew I didn't want to stay in the state. I wanted to go a little bit far. But specifically FAMU, I just knew they had a good program for what I wanted to do in my career. And I also knew that they had a lot of pride in being from FAMU. So I was just really interested in the school, and there was already people here that not a lot of people, but like there's 2 people here that I already knew. So it was like, I knew that if I needed help with anything, they would be here for me. And it's just like, I don't know, FAMU's just always been where I wanted to go.
Right. You looking good, man. And you got you in the weight room, boy. You looking good. Got the arms right. Looking great. Now, let's take us to this process, because there's kids and there's parents on tonight that's got young high school kids that's listening in tonight. For those that want to make sure you get the questions in so you can answer them. Take me through that process. So we understand the situation from high school. We understand the scrutiny that you were under. We understand the mental mindset. Now you at the HBCU. So now you've got 1 year basketball experience underneath you, 3 years of AAU with my program, which we won several championships in that process. And now you're at FAMU. Did you know who the hell Charlie Ward was when you met him?
I honestly didn't. I didn't know nothing about.
You didn't know, man. That's my boy. Florida State was the QB, baby. Double sport QB and PG, and decided to go to the New York Knicks, man. So once you found out who he was, man, how did that change your mindset?
Well, I honestly found out like kind of close to the tryout day, and I was just like, I was like, dang, like this is who I'm about to play for, like this is who I'm about to try out for, and it was just kind of crazy. And then because when I walked on the campus, it was like I think it was like the first week, or maybe it was the second week. And I went up to the basketball office, and I literally walked in on the whole I didn't walk in, but like I walked past the whole coaching staff while they were in a meeting. They were in a glass box, and they knew I was looking for them. And then one of the assistant coaches came outside and was like, yo, what you need? And I was wondering if you guys had walk on. I was like, I was trying to introduce myself. And so they waved me in the room. I literally introduced myself to everybody. And I was like, hey guys, yada, yada, yada. I said all the stuff. And then the coach gave me his email, and then they said they'd let me know when the tryouts was. So yeah, that's kind of how I met everybody.
G Pollard, trust the process. Now that's the process. So you know how wonderful that is. You know how many kids that would miss that opportunity only because many of them would be an introvert. And you're a more introverted person. You're not really an extrovert. So to have you walk up and see that coaching staff, the good thing about it is kind of like what we taught you coming through our EDGE program. And if you want something, you got to put yourself out there, and you got to be able to take it and be able to show everybody was it. So now you get that invite. Oh man, you pumped up. I know you're going back. Your chest got bigger. You swole up. You're like, man, I'm getting ready to try out. You walk in the gym with kids that are already on the team under scholarship, right? Mm-hmm. You walk in with kids that are trying to be in your position. What's your mindset coming in that first day of tryouts?
Yeah, there was only one tryout day, so it was all or nothing. And I literally remember
one and done.
Yeah, it was one and done. And I literally remember like, I got there like really early, and I was just making sure, because there was people up there making sure we had all the right documents. And so I give them my documents, and they start to say something's wrong with my documents. So I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought I had everything.
I've been down this process for the last 4 years. What you talking about?
Yeah, and then so I had to run to the building across the street to make sure everything was right. And I literally left my phone. Like I grabbed the papers and I went straight over. And so I went over there and I got some things figured out. I came back and they told me like, nah, never mind. Like, you're good. And I was like, okay. And so my heart was already beating because I thought I did all this work, and I did all this work and I wasn't.
I did too much work. I can't.
That's what I'm saying. And then so they got on myself. So my heart's already beating because I just thought I was about to not even be able to try out. And so I get down there, And I'm scoping out who's there. And I've seen like 2 or 3 of them that like had been in the rec before. So I already knew, like, I was like, okay, bet this is who I gotta go against. And I knew that the trial wouldn't just be about skill. It was gonna be about like who is genuinely just willing to put in the most effort. Like there was only 8 of us because like there were probably gonna be a lot more kids trying out if they made the process of trying out less simple. But they made the process, like they told us a week before the trial, and some of the things we needed would have taken, like medical stuff would have taken longer than a week. So they knew what they were doing.
For his first year, though, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. They just
he's working out.
There were some hurdles that caused a lot of people to miss it, and So anyway, I was blessed enough to get everything that I needed to go, and so I get to the trial. And I'm scoping everybody out. There's 8 of us. And I knew the trial was going to come down to like who's going to put in the most effort, like I said before. So the trial starts and we're just doing some drills and just like regular drill stuff like you would see in like any other trial. And that was just to warm us up. And then right before we went into like some live stuff, we did a 6-2-6, which is 6 down and backs, 2 down and backs. It's 6 touches and then 2 touches running backwards and then 6 more touches. And I forgot what time we had.
33s then, huh?
Yeah, definitely. And we had to get it. I forgot what time. I think it was like 1:30. And so I knew this was like the point where I needed to put myself above everybody else. Like genuinely, like I had to lock in because like I don't know. I just had to lock in because effort, bro. It was literally all about effort. Like if I put in as much effort as the other people, like I don't think it would have been like I think I did the best because I put in the most effort. Like anyway. So the 6-2-6 starts and we're going and I'm like top 2 at the start of 6-2-6. And then by the end of it, I'm the only one who makes it past the line before the time ends. So I'm the only one who's made the time trial. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I make the time trial. And then after that, we get a little water break and then we go into live and I'm doing good in the live. I'm playing my game, shooting, doing whatever I need to do. And I play well. I play good defense. And we did end up doing defensive drills too. And I remember one of the coaches saying like, hey, Coach Ward is a defensive coach. Like if you guys want to stand out, then stand out on defense. And that's what I did. So the trial was really all about how much it's all about effort and just that's kind of it. It's just effort. And it's I want to say like people say that effort is about like how much effort you put in the moment. But if you only put in effort in the moment where you're supposed to be putting in all the effort, but you put in no effort before, then you're not going to be able to output that much effort. Like you have to put effort in every day before the big day. Otherwise, on the big day, you're going to fail. So it's like,
man, you sound like you in Tennessee ass practice, boy. You sound
most definitely because every day before that trial, I was in the gym before class. At 9:30, I was up at 7:38 to shoot before class. So it's like you have to put in the effort and you have to stack the days in order to succeed. On the
hey, I'm about to be like a DJ, man. Hey, bring that back, man. Bring that back. Y'all heard it. Up early, putting the effort in. 7 a.m. Got class at 9. Putting in the work. Didn't go to class. Didn't go to the gym. Val just took it down. I was going to read what Sandra just said, but she was just talking about your effort and everything. It was awesome, man. The mindset. Now, how were you able to build, Amir, that mindset? Val put it back up. Sandra said, absolutely, man. Just love the confidence, knowing that your work fuels your future. Just keep believing in all the things possible, and you are going to live your dream. Congratulations on your journey, and whatever you do, travel well. I can't even say anything. That is well said, because the good thing about I've always loved about you, man, is that you've always, one, paid attention to detail, and 2, you was always at the gym. When we got there, from COVID, after COVID, whatever it was, I remember little Tony and them, my son, before he went to MTSU, and you were there. Sometimes it was like 2 people in the gym. And I remember you coming to the gym. Sometimes it would just be you, and you're playing pickup ball with me and the grown men. Like, man, let me get up in here. Let me play with y'all. And I loved it. And all that. And then that translated. And I can tell it translated because I can tell that you walked away with the stuff that I wanted you to do. Go guard the cat, go to the time trials, work hard, be the best, And at the end of the day, let the chip fall where they fall. And when you walked in there, you had already seen the kids that you're going to compete against, chip fell where they're going to fall. Listen, we're going to take our last break of the day. We're going to come back with the fourth quarter on the Pull Up Podcast Show with my guy, the one and only Amir Rahman, Nashville, by the way of FAMU, HBCU, and your boy, Coach Tony. This is the Pull Up Podcast Show. We'll be right back.
I've always thought about how my mom has supported me in any creative endeavor. How beautiful was it for your mom to be the superhero in your life and show up in your creative ventures with this book?
People ask her to sign the book more than they ask me to sign the book. Sometimes I step to the side, I take their picture. And, we have to celebrate our mothers. We got to celebrate our beginning. So she comes out with me. Every event, she is there. Even when I tell her she does not need to come, she will show up in the parking lot. And I'm like, oh, okay, you coming? Okay. I'm like, all right.
Right. And she got a bottle of wine in her hand.
What in the world? Why are you giving her alcohol?
No, I'm just saying. She showed up in the parking lot. She got a bottle of wine, nice wine. She's going to set it down. She ready for the show, Val. You know what I'm saying? Because the funny part about it is, CJ, I've actually talked to Val. I thought about, writing a book myself called My Man's in Them. But,
I love it.
and look at Val.
My man's in them.
My man's in them. But you got to read the book. You got to read the book. But it's a play. CJ, I apologize because Val should have dropped some old Dub C so you could have came out crip walking. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not flamed up right now. I got to hold on. Trying to get me shot.
Going back to school tomorrow, like, I saw you, Miss Charles. I saw you.
I mean, I can crip walk, so please, but I'm kind of, I'm authoring right now. You guys are funny.
Yeah, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show as we come down the stretch, fourth quarter. And Amir know how I am. Come fourth quarter, I'm trying to win this game. That's just how I coach, and all that. Man, I just, words can't put into expression for me, man, just how proud I am of you as a big brother, as a great son, as a mentor to your brother, as a, we Tennessee Ed for life, baby. By the way, one of our alumni kids is now the head coach at Wofford University. And it's been great, man. 25 years in this business for me. And to get kids like you that not necessarily is going into the University of Tennessee's and the Carolinas and the Dukes of the world, but to get them at the level that you are, because a lot of these kids, especially us African-American kids, we forget that the HBCUs are still D1. And I remember talking to you about that, and I was, making some calls, trying to go to Grambling, Prairie View, and all that. And then you chose to say, hey, man, I'm going to FAMU, which I thought was great. Your teammate is doing a hell of a job, Carter Webb. Carter's up at Walter State, had a hell of a year, doing real good. So, and the one thing I always talk about is keeping in touch, making sure you guys, trade war stories, because his war stories and your war stories, even though maybe different, could still be genuinely helpful, for you there. Now, as we transition into the situation where you are at FAMU, you went there because basketball is what you wanted to do, but medicine is what you're going to do. So how did you decide that you wanted to jump off in the medical field?
My interest in the medical field, I've always had an interest in the medical field because my dad's in the medical field. So I knew when I was interested in science, like it was probably going to end up in the medical field because like the researchers don't make that much money and, funds are getting cut, but that's not what it's about. It's about the medical field. So I remember it was like back in my sophomore year and I was doing an English project about careers, and we took like a career quiz and like it gave us a bunch of different lists of jobs. And I came across this thing called anesthesiology and I was like, what's that? And so I did some more research into it and I thought it was really interesting. And so that's what I'm hoping to be one day. So
yeah, that's great. I'm glad you didn't cheat off my test then, because I wasn't good at science. But man, so that's good. So how's that been as a freshman? Because that's good. I know when I went into school opposite of you in Chicago, some things happened to when I lost one of my closest friends at 15 years of age, to violence. And I wanted to put, bad guys in jail, jumped off into the legal side, wanted to go to law school early on. So I kind of knew. So when I got to school, I went right into political science and government studies. So has that been positive for you as a freshman? Because most of the time you don't get into your major until your junior year. Has that been real good, knowing that you want to go into medicine, been able to focus right through the front door to your freshman year, been able to take some of those courses?
Yeah, most definitely. I think a common misconception that a lot of people say is like, don't worry, your freshman year is like when you have the easy classes and you'll get harder classes later. But like, nah, like when you're a STEM major, bro, like you start out with the hard classes. Like you're starting out with the chemistry and the calculus. Like if you were a regular student, like if you were a student that was on track, I'd be taking calculus. I would have taken calculus 1 like last semester, but I'm taking calculus 1 now. So like I wouldn't say, some people start with different classes, but I'm saying like, nah, like when people like, you got to do good your freshman year, and it's your freshman year, like you should be focusing on your grades too. But like, I mean, obviously, but I'm saying like, it's just like when people say like your freshman year is the easiest year, I feel like all my years of college are going to be like some level of the same difficulty. Like some are going to be harder than others, but it's like, I'm starting off with the core classes. There's no regular classes. And then you start with classes next year. Like, no, I'm starting off with like regular STEM classes. So it's like
in the mix.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I'm going to throw a curveball at you now, because don't even tell me. I know you ain't seen School Days, so it's all good. But you probably seen Stomp the Yard, right?
Yeah.
So when you stepped onto those hallowed grounds of FAMU, man, what was your mindset like? Was it like, wow, okay, because I'm sure by now you've had an opportunity to see several step shows. You've probably seen the Grease Day thing and of that nature and all that. Does any of that interest you at all, or kind of have you gotten into what is the lay of the land on the yard? We used to call it the yard back. I don't know what y'all call it there. We call it the yard. Well, what is it like, rolling around the yard of FAMU?
It's like, I'm not gonna lie, all the freshmen, it's like a big community. Like everybody is connected somehow, some way. Like if you know somebody, that person knows somebody that you probably didn't know they knew. Like all the freshmen are like intertwined in this web. So it's kind of cool. And I bet it was even more intertwined in summer B. Like some of my friends that were here in the summer, like before, they all stayed in the same dorm. So like they're probably more connected, but I'm just saying like all the freshmen in general are just really connected. So it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of like if any of you are from the North and you come to the South, and the South is like giving you like home vibes, or giving you like, I don't know how to describe it. The Southern vibe of kindness or whatever. But like, that's kind of what I'm getting here. It's like, everybody's just a family kind of. Yeah.
Gotcha. And what's the kids you've had an opportunity to meet? How far away? What is like one of the persons that you've met? What's the furthest way out of the country? Who's been the furthest?
Oh yeah. I've met a lot of people. A lot of people are from like Georgia and Florida, but there's definitely some outliers. Like I know somebody from DC. I know somebody from Baltimore. I know somebody from New York.
Okay.
2 of my teammates are from New York. One of my teammates is from Baltimore. That's 2 people I know from Baltimore. One of my teammates, a lot of them are from Florida. What else?
Sure.
One of them is from, I'm forgetting the name of the state, Indiana. 2 of them are from Indiana. So It's just like, there's definitely a lot of people that are from like different areas. But I feel like with FAMU definitely has a lot of people from Florida. But I mean, that's what you're going to get when you go to any kind of college.
Oh yeah. And and I always talk to us in practice from day one. And I don't know if you remember me telling everybody, but I always said, if you learn how to use this orange ball, it'll open a lot of doors. But if you let the orange ball use you, you'll be a has-been. And you use this orange ball to open a lot of doors. What has that meant to you?
It's definitely meant a lot. I'm not gonna lie. This is the most basketball has ever opened any of my doors. Oh yeah, and two of my teammates. One of them is from Australia, and one of them is from Africa, by the way. But anyway, yeah, this has definitely opened a lot more doors than I ever could have imagined. Like, it's just so much different when you go from high school to basketball, college basketball. Because like people in high school, obviously some people are gonna know talent, but like, bro, everybody on my team knows somebody who's playing college basketball somewhere else. Like all the D1 people are connected to each other. So it's just opened up a lot of doors, and like I've been able to network with people when we go out of town. It's just crazy how much like basketball has been able to, like, I wouldn't know half the people that, I wouldn't say half, but I wouldn't know so many people if I didn't keep playing basketball. So
right.
Yeah.
And I want people to clear up the lot. Let's talk a little bit about the NIL stuff. People think all this NIL is doing this and doing that. You're at an HBCU. So your NIL money is not like the money at Vandy, right?
Yeah.
You guys ain't, the best guard and the best QB ain't getting Pavia's money, right? We understand that. Tell everybody about the reality of NIL at an HBCU, even from some of your teammates who may be getting good NIL money. Man, what does it look like?
I'm not gonna lie. The reality is HBCUs don't get NIL money. Like the SWAC is different. Like if you're getting NIL money, it's because you most likely were at another school and you still have some NIL deals from that school. But like it's different. Like it's not like, but I'm not gonna lie, all the mid majors and high majors, they get paid. Like the A10 conference, the WCC.
Yeah.
Those conferences are getting NIL, but not as big as the big ones. But it's like, it's just crazy because like I can see both sides of the NIL story. Because in one sense, like all these athletes are waking up 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, and literally their whole lives is their sport. So obviously they want to pay for it. And the TV shows and TV brands and everybody's using their name and their image to produce money. And it makes sense that the athletes get some of that money. So I think NIL is important, but it's just the HBC, we just don't get NIL like the other schools do. Like there's people that I know, like over at FSU, the walk-on over at FSU, I heard something about him getting paid like $30K or something like that. So it's just like,
it's great. Like you walk over here, you just got to make your position known. He walk over there and get 30 stacks.
Yeah, so it's the NIL money is definitely like everywhere. Like if you know any college athletes that play D1, they're probably getting paid good NIL money.
Man, we talking real business here, man. Y'all didn't need to hear from me. I keep preaching this. You hear it from the kid. And what makes me mad about that is what you just said. I truly believe that the SWAC and the MEAC very soon has got to merge to make some big moves, to make some things happen. I think if the MEAC and the SWAC merges together, I think the SWAC's got 9 teams, 10 teams?
Yeah.
And the MEAC's got about 8, 7, 8. So if that merger happens to bring that league to rename it the HBCU league, whatever you want to call it. But the MEAC and the SWAC merges out. I think it'll help with the NIL because, you guys just heard this. This is a kid who came from Nashville, Tennessee, had a hard plight in high school, walks on to an HBCU and plays for a famous coach, Florida State football QB to the New York Knicks. And now he's head coaching FAMU. And this kid gets an opportunity to be on that sideline as a freshman, walk on. But he walks across the street. And by the way, when he said FSU, for those that don't know, that's Florida State University in the ACC. And the same walk-on is making 30 stacks. That's reality. And that amazes me, Amir, because it just talks a little bit about where we are in the game. It talks a little bit about the complexity of when we see these NIL deals going on. And what I tell these kids, stop looking at ESPN and all these kids you think making the meal piece. That ain't happening. That's the 1 or 2%, just like the 1 or 2% that's going to the league. These kids that are coming in high school, I am struggling right now to get my recruits looked at and signed because coaches want to do what, Amir, as you mentioned? Look at the transfer portal.
Yeah.
That's happening big time. So if you're looking at hindsight 2020, and you can leave somebody on the podcast tonight who's listening, who's got a young kid, who's in the same boat that you are, struggling high school, middle school, but want the aspirations of playing college basketball, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, please don't ever stop working, and please work harder than everybody else. Like, you think you're working hard, there's someone working harder than you. Like, I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying, like, bro, you just gotta be doing something every day, and don't overwork yourself, but like, you just gotta keep going. And it's about who you know. Like, whenever you go to AAU, please make sure you go somewhere that's not gonna like just use you for your money. Like, you need to make sure you get on preferably a circuit team. So, and it doesn't even matter what circuit, you just need to be on some type of circuit team, because you need to be getting better. You need to be getting better every day. You need to, if the high school situation that you're in isn't allowing you to play, go if you can. If you can't, then just make whatever you can out of it. But and please make connections with anybody and everybody you know. Like, everybody knows somebody. So it's about who you know. Like, genuinely, getting recruited is about who you know. You just have to know the right people, because everybody has the same, I wouldn't say everybody has the same skill set, but once you get to a certain level of basketball, everybody can shoot, everybody can dribble. Nobody's going to be losing the ball like they do in middle school. So as long as you have the skill set, you literally just need to know the people and make sure you have a good personality so the coach wants you on his team. That's it. You just need to, whoever you know, you need to know as many people as you can who can help you out and get recruited. And you just need to keep putting in the work so you can be good enough. And that's it.
Man, if I'm in the DJ booth, I'm like, because he just set out some fireworks for y'all, man. Man, Amir, let me tell you something, dog. What's my motto for the Edge? Stay ready so you don't have to do what? Get ready.
Get ready.
Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready. These boys will tell you, Saturday morning, we late. What I do, Amir, I knock on the door, I pull the blinds back. Then I pull all your covers off. Whoosh. Let's go. We got a game, man. We got time to sleep. Let's get it. We go make it happen. But hey, because I want to make sure when you get to the next level, your mental mindset is in grind mode. It's like me being a Kappa. See, that's where we always grinding. In the Nukes, we always grind. We always achieving to the next level, man. Listen, my brother, I appreciate you, man. I love you. We Tennessee Edge for life, baby. You know, I got you. Anything you want, I look forward to it. Me, mom, and dad already talked. And by the way, for those that don't know, I'm getting ready to sign Amir to my sports marketing company, The Rise, which I'll be talking about that in a moment. So it's been absolutely great, man. This is always going to be an open platform for you. Anytime you want to come on, reach out. You know, my phone is always open for you guys, man. And, you know, and if they're not going to treat you right, holler at your boy. You know, I got you, man. We're gonna put some phone calls in. If we got to put you on the road and get you someplace else, we'll try to do what we can do. But Charlie Ward, appreciate you, man. I thank you for taking a look at this young man. And Charlie, if you don't bring him back, I don't know what to say. This guy knocked on your door. You didn't knock on his door. He knocked on your door. Said he wanted to be here, FAMU, right here. And get a brother a chance. All I can say. Amir, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk backstage in a moment. But at this time, Val, you know how we do. We're going to talk a little bit about The Rise and what it means to you. But in the meantime, Amir, put them fingers up like this, because we're going to say peace.
Peace. Peace, y'all.
The Rise, NIL. What are we? We're a sports marketing company brought to you in 2023, helping all of our athletes unleash their potential. We're in the sports world. Because what? The NIL, name, image, and likeness, is where the athletes play. So in order to do that, we want to make sure we help them maximize their earning potential, along with the brands that operate with them. So if you need to know some more information and how you can be a part of The Rise, reach out to us at information@therise.com or type in www.therisenil.com.
Pull up podcast, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Bounce the the voice, and Coach Tony, you know, it's the Pull Up Podcast. So, I said bounce the voice, and Coach Tony, you know, it's the Pull Up Podcast. So, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So I said Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull